Hi dear student, today I am going to talk on education program of social skills and play skill at primary and secondary level. So in this I am going to focus activities of social and play skills at both primary and secondary level and sample of education program at primary and secondary level. So let us see the activities. I am not going to discuss the importance definition because that we have already discussed in other videos. You can check it out. So let us see the activities of social and play skills. Now, activities at pre-primary level. When given a chance, make a choice between two activities or between two items. That is the activity of social skill at primary level. Then second, like perform the activity requested by the teacher and parents, ask for permission to use a toys or other material which doesn't belong to that child or which doesn't belong to him, so he has to ask the permission before he use that. Kind of also is an activity of social skill at primary level. Then participate in a group game in which 4 to 5 children are involved. Then wait for his turn while playing the games, sharing a play material during the group games, maintain appropriate manner when taken to the social function, then take care of his own belonging in the school like school bag, lunch box, pencil box. See, always remember, social skill will not take place in isolation. You have to interact with 2 or 3 members, then only that is called socialized skills or socialization. So in that way you need to remember the social skills. That means whatever the social skills you do, whether you participate in group, that means you're participating in 2 to 3 children. If you ask permission, you're not asking permission on your own, you're asking others. Performing an activity, that means the teacher has advised to perform the activity with the others. So all these things you need to take care when you select the social activity at primary level. Now let us see the secondary level social skills. Ask politely to pass on the dishes he wants while having the meal. Goes by walk to the shop or a playground or a friend house, with a diameter of 1 or 2 kilometers, going to his neighborhood and returning back at home, and buys 2 items written on the sheet from the shop, nearby grocery shop or any other shop which is very near. It should not be far because the child is at still secondary level. So when the child reaches to the occasional or intermediate level, then we can think over, just write a sheet and ask him to buy the grocery items wherever he sees the shop. Then when required, introduce himself to the new people who comes to his house. That means it is a little higher level, compared to the primary. Then greet and ask relatives or family friends to be seated when they come to their house. Then read the direction on the street, bus route details and follows. That means he has to follow those kind of things, where this bus is going, what is the meaning of this direction, which is this street. So that kind of things he need to just identify in this activity. Then read signboards. That is also one kind of social activities where you can engage the child to learn at secondary level. So these are the activities of social skills in both primary and secondary level. Now let us see the activities of play skills at primary and secondary level both. Initially let us see primary level. See, in primary level, plays by passing or throwing and catching the ball. So that kind of activity you can involve in the play skills. Then some in India, some children like flying kites. If you see a lot of other schools or even at a terrace of your house, you try to, small kids, though they are not master, but at least they try to manipulate such things. Play marble games. Yes, you have such kids. So play games like police or thief, land and sea, four corner, seven stone. This is quite you know traditional game which you can see in every colony, at every street in India. and then watering the plant, then play a common game like snake, ladder, 5 stones, with 2 to 3 children. See, these all are the play activities where you can involve your child when the child is at 7 years or 8 years. Then watching a TV program for 15 or 30 minutes. This is all indoor games and outdoor games. Building blocks to copy the given model. Yes, you give a model and you try to give the you know block so that he can build. In that way you can develop lot of skills. It's not just a play, okay. They develop their motor skill, they develop their communication skill, they develop their logical skills, they do a lot of brainstorming, try to come with the creative activities. So this is all where a child will develop. This is all areas where child will develop. So that all things the activity of play skill at secondary level. In secondary level, play a game like Ludo, Snake and Ladders. You would have played when you were small at that level, quite similarly. And select the specific cassette, radio stations, and operate a record player. Kind of things you do. This is my cassette. This is my radio. Where you try to engage the child in the play activities. Then play a musical instruments or singings. So there are more than 3 activities. I have just mentioned 3. So you can just think over and you can just try to put it so that you can select it. When you see a secondary level curriculum at the play skills or play domain, you can see a lot of play activities which is mentioned for that age group. So you can just try to gain those and try to understand how it is. Now let us see how we are going to prepare an educational program. Education program of social skills and play skills at primary level. See, this is a primary level educational program sample. So I have selected 2 topic, asking for permission to use a toy, and then I have selected the playing by passing through the ball. So this is an objective. It's very clear, even I have explained earlier. In the target, you have to be very clear with the 5 components of writing specific objective, which is your condition, behavior, content, criteria, and duration. So you can see here, he will be able to ask the permission to use the material whenever required with 80% of accuracy. So this 80% is my criteria, and at the end of the 2 months it's my duration. And to use the material or from here to ask the permission to use the material is my content. He will be able is my behavior, and whenever required is my condition. So you need to remember the 5 components, and then you need to write a target or a goal. And opposite to this, you have a baseline where you need to find out the current level of the child against the objectives, okay, so that you will be able to identify and able to succeed in your target. And this can be placed, this you can teach as per the goal. You can see, for example, for playing a playground, even at home or in a self-contained classroom or in the resource room, where who will be the responsible person? The person who's going to teach this social skills, and the other special educator who is specialized with the special need or autism spectrum disorder children. Then success criteria. This is my objective 1 success criteria, and this is my objective 2 success criteria. So I have to just achieve this target, so it should match with the specific objective. And then I am going to identify the strategy, accommodation, and modification. For this, now individualized teaching learning with the specific roles. It's not only the special educator or the teacher, but also the parent, but also the neighbor, but also the father. There are a lot of other stakeholders who need to participate to work for the welfare of children with autism. or any other disability. So the roles will be very specific, the instructions will be very specific in your what you say, individualized teaching learning plan. Then modification in instructions. See, when you want to teach, they are able to understand simple instructions. If you give a multiple instructions, they may not able to understand, so you need to modify your instruction. Show some video of taking permission to rule out the concept, and then modify the rule. Rule out means to clear out the concept, and modified rules of the game. So that will be very important when you take the play games, okay, and or when you take the play activities. And then here it comes the evaluation, which is very important to understand whether my activity was achieved or not, whether I need to change my content or not. So that is very, very important. If the objective is achieved, you can just tick. If it is not achieved, you can tick it here, okay. And the date of evaluation, when you have evaluated that, so that it must be very clear that this was the date where I have evaluated my child, so that you can talk in the IP meeting. So this was the educational program of social and the play skills at a primary level. Now let us see at the secondary level. Now in the secondary level, what happened? It's quite similar and it is the same, okay. So the activity changes, that's it. So you need to just remember the activity you have taken, and whatever I have explained in the primary level, it should remains the same, okay. It should match everything. Select the criteria and then you try to implement, okay. So this is about your education program, which is very, very easy. You can prepare it and you can implement in the classroom, or in the self-contained, and in the resource room classroom, even in the at home. So that's quite simple and easy. So I hope you have understood. So you will find the difference between the pre-primary, primary and secondary level social skills and the play skills. So I think you have understood. So we will discuss the other education program in the next video. Till then, bye bye.